Hello and welcome to Radhaa Publishing House. I'm Radhaa publisher at Radhaa Publishing House, and I'm here with Aros Crystos. Welcome, Aros.
Oh, hi, Radha. Good to be here.
It's so great to be here with you, and I want to talk to you today about what embracing aloha means to you.
Well, first of all, embracing, of course, it's when you kind of embrace something or you keep it close to your heart. But aloha is not just a slogan in Waikiki Beach in Honolulu, for example. Aloha basically means divine breath,
Mm.
or you sharing the same breath. So it connects people on a level that is really very sweet, but it's also very important in order to recognize who we are. And aloha really represents that. However, it's been forgotten. People think it means hello, goodbye, or whatever. And it does mean that. However, the real meaning here is that we share the breath, we share the same consciousness, we share the same heart and soul. There's really no separation, right? So if people think about that each time they use aloha, that would shift a lot, right? So
Wow, beautiful.
embracing that aspect of aloha, that's what the book Embracing Aloha is really all about.
Mm. I'm so excited to be bringing your new book, Embracing Aloha, forward. And um, I feel it's so relevant to these times. Would you like to speak on that?
Well, Hawaii are indigenous people, and they are very wise and have a lot of wisdom to share with the world. However, in modern society, a lot of this has gotten lost.
Mm.
And so when you see what's happening in America on the mainland, in Texas and the border crisis and all of that, you
Mm.
can see that it's so vital that the indigenous people are honored and respected. All people, obviously. However, these tribes from Hawaii and from many other places, they carry a certain vibration, they carry certain knowledge. For example, the Hawaiian language was not allowed to be taught in the school for like 200 years or something, because in the language, it's such a high vibration, and they have no words for devil or anything really negative. So
Mm.
for the Hawaiians, when there is a problem, well, you take care of it, but you don't keep on talking about it. You're not supposed to kind of announce it to everybody around you, and so in that way you take more responsibility for it, and you don't spread the negativity just because something negative happened to you. For example, in my situation, that's partly why I didn't want to talk about it in the very beginning,
Mm.
because I didn't want to make it into a soap opera.
Mhm.
And now when I'm recovering and it's fine to talk about it because it's not about negativity. It's just an experience, a process I'm going through, right?
Mm. Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
if you think about it, when we remember people in generally, Radha, we remember the negativities or what the problems they have.
Mm.
We don't really remember the joy and the beauty and as much, because
Mm.
people always talk about their problems,
Mm. Mhm.
right?
Yes.
So it's very important, and it's a vibration and frequency. So, but now they are allowed to teach Hawaiian language in the schools again, and a lot of people are studying it and learning it again
Mhm.
because it's extremely potent.
Mhm. Yes.
So, so English is fine. However, that's why I like about Europe with all the different dialects, because it activates part of your brain that
Mhm.
otherwise is dormant. So
Mhm.
when you speak two or three languages, a part of your brain you're using in a very different way, and it of course affects all areas of your life.
Mm.
So learning languages is a really, really good way of tapping into parts of the brain that otherwise is dormant.
That's incredible. I was just listening to something about dormant DNA, and it's important that we connect to ourselves and to our cultures and our indigenous aspects to connect with those dormant DNA and
Mhm.
activate.
Right. And for example, if I say, Hello, Radhaa, wie geht's dir heute? Alles Gute, ja? Wie ist das Wetter in Los Angeles heute? Or I say, Hey, Radhaa, what's the weather like in Los Angeles? How are you? And or I say it in Swedish, for example, Hey, Radhaa, hur är vädret i Los Angeles? Hur mår du? Är du okay? It changes the personality, right?
Mhm.
You can go in for français. Ça va, Radhaa, comment ça va? Tout va bien? And it becomes the language with a and so, but it changes the personality.
Mhm. It does. Yeah, I can really feel that, the vibration of each language that you just spoke.
Mhm.
And, I think your book was so ahead of its time, Embracing Aloha, because of what's happening now. Do you want to speak on that?
Well, unfortunately or fortunately, being a visionary
Mhm.
has its challenges because when you're a visionary, you see what is going to happen in the future as it happening now.
Mhm.
And then you don't understand, wait a minute, this is not supposed to be like this. I've already seen it, I've already written about it. What's going on? I forget, or it's easy to not remember that time is not linear, even though people treat it as linear. And also time, you cannot pinpoint it. So when the dolphins have shared messages with me and saying, this is what's going to happen, in those days, I thought that meant at that moment, right? But for them, it's the divine moment. There's only one moment, and that moment is always present. Always. Doesn't matter if it's today, tomorrow, or in 200 years. It's always that same moment, right? And so when people say, this is what's going to happen, you can do it to a certain degree. However, you can never rely upon it because there's so many factors that have to be included in saying, well, this is what's going to happen in blah, blah, blah. Well, it might and it might not. I can't hear you.
Let's speak to, what's been going on in Hawaii and your book. Do you want to speak a little bit about your book?
Yeah, so so the book Embracing Aloha is about a woman. She's going to become, I think she's 79 in the book, and she's going to turn 80.
Mhm.
And when she was a young woman, she was guided to pick up 5 orphans and take care of them and help them to understand a little bit about Hawaii and about what aloha means, and all the old principles. And then in the book now, they all live on the different islands. For example, Kauai, in Honolulu, of course, and Maui, and on the Big Island. And she feels it's time that all gathering together, because Honolulu, Oahu, means the gathering place. So, and that's why so many different people go to Honolulu. It's the gathering place. It's gathering all of these people from all over the world, right? especially in Waikiki and these places. Anyway, and so she goes out in her garden and prepares a very sacred fire, and then she starts chanting. And this chanting, the people who are living in the different islands can hear it. Some hear it in their heart or as feeling. I don't really literally hear her chanting. And I feel drawn to go back to Honolulu. And I don't know exactly why, but so they're all gathering there. And that's really what the book is all about, to initiate these 5 young people into the olden ways and to understand and respect the teachings of aloha and the Hawaiian, ancestry and what the kahunas are, and all of these different layers of Hawaii. And then as the crooked politician, of course, who wants to destroy the land and build a casino with streets and bars and all sorts of things. And to figure that one out becomes their initiation process. So there's some very wonderful characters, and there's a lot of teachings about Hawaii and how it was before the missionaries came.
Mm-hmm.
And so because people still today don't understand. They think, oh, I'm going to go to Hawaii. It's not like that. You're being called from within. Hawaii energy calls people, and it could be for a day. It could even only be at the airport changing planes and going to Japan or any other place, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter the time, but it's a calling from Hawaii. And then when you're here, it's very likely you'll be tested and see if it's appropriate for you to stay here, or you're just supposed to be here for a week or a month or a year or whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this initiation, that I have been initiated 3 times, and now I guess it's not a 4th time for this happening, so it's very powerful, So if you put ley lines between the different islands, there's an energetic grid that is created. And so Hawaii is very powerful. It's very, very powerful, even though it's gotten lost in a lot of the tourism. But now tourism has become a curse and a blessing, because they don't know how to handle tourism anymore. Because if people don't awaken and understand where they are, they cannot continue having all of these people coming here, because they're destroying it for the locals. Destroying a lot of things, not purposely, but because of ignorance and arrogance. They don't really understand where they are, and they don't show respect. A lot of people feel entitled, that they should be treated like they are something special because they come with money, or they have something here, or they come as tourists and spend a lot of money. But it's not like that. You have to respect and honor the land you're coming to. And if you spend a lot of money, that's up to you. But you cannot expect to be treated like you are some royalty. So
yeah, absolutely. I think that's so important to recognize and to respect the lands that we walk on. When we're a visitor in someone else's land, it's important to honor that. And I've been to Hawaii a few times, and it's such an activation place. There's something very activating about it. It's amazing, actually. I now want to go back again. Probably go back again to see you, to do a book signing event, but
right. Well, we have invited you, so
yeah,
it's up to you.
thank
But
you.
oh yeah, of course. But yes, it's very important, because without these vibrations of the Hawaiian Islands and many other places on the planet, it's going to be very difficult to resist what's going on right now, because everything is being solved through politics and wars and fights and separations, and you know, the indigenous tribes, one thing they have all in common, they are one tribe, you know, they're one people. So
yeah, absolutely. Let's do part 2 because I think this is so exciting. I cannot wait for people to read your book. It's really an incredible book, and there's so much more to discover. So you guys go ahead and grab a copy of the book. By the time this comes out, we're gonna have the digital version available. So you can find that link down below, and much love and blessings. Aloha.
yes, mahalo, which means thank you in Hawaii.
Mahalo.
Mahalo, aloha to Radhaa Publishing House and to Radha Nilia.
Thank you
I'm
so
very,
much.
very grateful. Thank you so much.
So wonderful to connect with you today. And as always, blessings.
Okay, you too.